Here we are. Welcome, friends. Hello, here we are. Oh my gosh. Courtney, hi. It's been a minute since we've done
Alyson,
this.
it's so good to see you. Long
So good
time
to
no
see you
see.
too.
It's about dang time we started this again.
Oh my gosh, we're really doing it though. I mean, how many podcasts do you listen to or have you started listening to where they do one episode and then you never hear from them again, or one season, then you never hear from them again? And we're starting season 2. And I feel like in this day and age where we're busy parents, working parents, all of the things, we have obviously an online situation. Here we are making it happen again. So I'm very proud of us. And I just want to give us a little pat on the back, you and me. So with that, welcome to Two Wavy Girls on the Internet, Season 2. I am Alyson Lupo.
And I am wavy-curly Courtney. We celebrate saying all things wavy, curly, and wonderfully real.
And we play around with all the products and we read the back of the bottle so you do not have to. Again, for Season 2. So excited to be doing this for you guys. I'm so glad you are here. I know a number of you are watching live already. It looks like we have a good handful of you joining us. Thank you and welcome. We're so excited y'all are here. Season 2 is going to be a fun one. We have a lot of things planned. And Courtney, you're the busiest you've possibly ever been in your life. Why don't we do a little, as she crosses her eyes, if you guys are not watching this live or you're not watching this on YouTube and you're listening to the podcast, Courtney and I think that we probably both, correct me if I'm wrong, Courtney, been accused of people who have very active expressions. Would you agree that we are people with active faces?
Nobody can accuse me of poker face. You see all of my emotions all out in front on my face all the time.
All on the face, all the time. No big deal. Yeah, that's just what we do here. It's totally fine. It's a normal day. Well, yeah.
I am going to share a little bit about what's been going on with me. Not only do I still do all the YouTube fun things and have new videos every week, I also started cosmetology school while raising 2 young kiddos and trying not to die. It's wonderful. Cosmetology school has been so much fun. I think it should be illegal for somebody to have this much fun while in school. It's been a lovely experience. I should graduate in December, but it has been a lot to get through.
You're doing it though. And I will tell you that when it's over, you probably won't remember a lot of it. I think the cosmetology school, you'll learn a lot from it for sure, but it's like a big wedding that goes on forever. You have so much fun. You love it while you're in it. And then at the end you go, what happened? And then life starts anew on the other side, whether you're in a salon or in your own space or whatever you plan to do. But I can't wait to see where you go with this because it's exciting. And I think it's very central to the topic of our conversation today, which is mom hair. Just living our lives as parents and trying to just cope and make it as people who are raising children, whether you're raising grandchildren or just spending time with young people in your life while also trying to work and attend all the soccer games and go to the orchestra concerts and be there for the grandparents' day at the school. All of the things, all of the above, it feels so overwhelming sometimes. And I feel like I need hacks sometimes to get through it. And I talk about these things with my clients. What have I figured out? What have they figured out that really works to get us through those days so that when it's back to back stacked, we're not late for everything and we're not frazzled and we still feel like we look presentable. So I would ask you, Courtney, just to go first, because I'll talk your ear off all day, but I want to hear from you as the still working full time, still doing an internet thing. And you are so good about continuing to continuously post on the internet. I fall off the bandwagon and I'm like, this is not me. I need some space. I need to breathe. I am not the best mom when I try to do it all. So I'm going to back up a little bit, but you're also in cosmetology school. Like what are your tricks? What are you doing to kind of keep us, to keep yourself sane when you are trying to be there, be on time, be the good parent, all the things?
Honestly, it's a lot of updos. I know that my curly hair resolution for this year was to not pull my hair up as much, but just being in cosmetology school has meant that I am taking lots of curly hair styling breaks. I've talked about these in the past. They are amazing. This is not something that I was able to do prior to embracing my waves and curls. My hair was simply not healthy enough. I couldn't get away with doing this. But ever since I really started taking care of my hair, I've gotten to the place where I can shampoo, condition, put a little bit of leave-in conditioner or some type of like UV protectant in my hair, brush it out and let it air dry 100%. And I don't look like I've stuck my finger in a light socket. Then I can either pull my hair up in a glorious mom bun or put it up in a jaw clip for going to cosmetology school. My hair can't necessarily be down and in the way for some of the things that we're doing. You don't want your hair down and loose when you're whipping the bleach around. You just don't. I
You
don't
just
want
don't.
to highlight my hair. I want to highlight the person's hair that's sitting in my chair. So hair up in a claw clip has been my saving grace and tons of wavy curly hair styling breaks. And then because I'm not doing any really damaging practices on my hair, when I go back to style it wavy curly again, it springs right back up.
So how often would you say you are washing your hair? I think that's the biggest struggle that I and a lot of my clients cope with, because your scalp and your hair have very different needs, as I discuss with my clients here in my studio in Dallas, Texas, all the time, is very different needs. Your scalp needs a little bit more than your hair for a lot of people. But man, there seems to be a real disconnect between what our skin and hair actually need and what the internet is constantly bragging on,
Right.
which is, I'm on day 17 without washing my hair. And
Alyson,
everybody
did you
wants to achieve
know
that.
that
What is it?
nobody shows up to your house with a cash check for going longer without washing your hair? There's no prize for going
There's
24
no,
days without washing your hair. For me personally, for
yep.
hygiene reasons, I absolutely have to wash my hair every other day or every third day, depending on how hot it has been in Texas. I'm out in West Texas. Dallas, Alyson is over in Dallas, Texas. So for me, it's a hygiene issue if I'm not washing my hair every 2 to 3 days. So
Now,
sometimes
you
you
have
just gotta
historically
do what you
been
gotta
an
do.
itchy scalp person. Is that right? Like
Mhm.
you get the itchy scalp because you have all that glorious hair. So
There's a
you've got to
lot of it.
wash your hair frequently. Okay, here's a hack from me. I discussed this with a client the other day, and she was like, "What? Why have I never thought of this?" And it is this simple. This might be really obvious to everybody listening in, but I would be curious to know. So please pop it up in the chat for all of you listening. Please, please participate with us. We love to answer your questions live. And I also would like to know from you if this resonates. Splitting up your shower duties. Like, does everybody even have time anymore for what I've learned the people call an everything shower? I
Right?
don't. I rarely do an everything shower anymore. It is like every other day is like a body, or every third day is like hair. Like I can't
Mhm.
possibly do them at the same time. There is no time for taking care of the hair on one's legs and the hair on one's head at the same time. And then of course you've got
Precisely.
to preach. And then you've got to follow that up with the whole, like all the lotions and the oils and all the things. And like, I just cannot cope. And so a client of mine, last week we were talking about this, and she was like, that's life-changing. How have I not done this before? So for anybody listening that this was not already obvious to you, highly recommend having your designated couple, 2 to 3 at a minimum, hair washing days a week, and then however many body washing days a week that you want. But I generally, like today, let's say the last time I washed my hair was on Sunday. So I've gotten Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I will have to non-negotiably for myself wash my hair tomorrow, or the scalp will start to scream. And then for me, if I were to skip that day, the next time I would wash my scalp, even that day or the next day, would still be a little bit upset with me because that pH balance would be way off. So I do have to wash my hair consistently, but the splitting up of the hair and the other shower duties has been a life changer.
You don't necessarily have to do your curly hair routine on the same day that you're shaving your legs. You can split those up and
You
save
can split them up.
yourself some mental bandwidth that day.
But then we
Also,
have refresh.
what's that?
Then we have a refresh.
Yes, you do. Another thing that has been really helpful for a bunch of people that I get to do curl coaching sessions with virtually on Zoom is doing a wash now, style later. So you wash your hair, shampoo it, condition it, get nice and clean, and then you let it air dry. And perhaps you look like a giant puffball. That is absolutely okay. When you have time, you just re-wet and style your hair without having to do the whole shampoo condition bundle. Sometimes that's also helpful for saving time.
I've never tried that. I've seen your videos on it. I want you to walk me through like the top 5 steps of what wash now, style later looks like, because I think I've never done it because my hair is so, gosh, even if I put off diffusing my hair for about 5 to 10 minutes after I get out of the shower, it's not going to be like what I want it to be. So I cannot
Right.
imagine washing now and styling later. That sounds like it would be a disaster. Tell me how to make that work for me in your experience.
Well, it may not be something that you absolutely need, but if you're in a situation that I often find myself in where my scalp is screaming to be washed, but you're at the end of your rope, it's at the end of the day, you have no wherewithal to do the whole dadgum thing. You're going to shampoo, condition, and let it air dry. Let your hair be 100% dry by the time your head hits the pillow. You sleep, you wake up feeling refreshed. Perhaps you have an autoimmune condition like me, rheumatoid arthritis. You know the utter bone deep fatigue you feel at the end of the day. You absolutely have to wash your hair, but you absolutely know without a shadow of a doubt you cannot style it. Go to bed with shampooed, conditioned, air dried hair. Wake up the next morning, dunk your head underneath your bathtub faucet, get it soaking wet again, and then add your curl creams, your gels, organize your curl clumps, scrunch stuff in, plop, diffuse, boom. You've just
So you're
split
going
the wash day
through,
up.
sorry about that. Yes, you're going through everything except the shampoo and conditioning part again. But you know you're starting with a clean slate.
Mhm.
I love that. Okay, okay. I'm going to try it. I'm going to give it a try.
It's a really niche need. It's for the people who really have to wash their hair, but they're really, really too tired to do the whole style thing.
Oh yeah.
And they don't have the option to put their hair up in a claw clip or a bun the next day. They really need it to style because it puffs on them or looks really undefined and frizzy. I'm really lucky as I sit on the looser side of the curly hair spectrum. I can get away with not styling my hair and it lay down. There are some people who don't have that luxury. I used to think that this was a liability and not an asset. I used to be really sad that my hair wasn't curlier, but with my hair being looser, I have more versatility in what I can do with it.
Have you ever, because you have looser waves, but they can really curl up, do you ever wash and style at night, like put in your mousse, your foam, whatever, but then go to bed with it kind of wet and
No.
then just see what happens in the morning? And that's never worked for you?
If it's at all wet when my head hits the pillow, we're done skis. Those hydrogen bonds aren't fully set and things are going to get insanely wonky. Now, if I shampoo, condition, do the full styling thing, get it 100% bone dry and leave it in the cast, it's a 50-50 shot if it's going to look okay or not in the morning. I'm actually better off to go ahead and break the cast at night and just use my
Mm,
regular overnight sleep protection.
okay.
That tends to give me a better outcome, a better guaranteed outcome for the next morning. Sleeping in the cast works amazing for some people. I'm not one of them. It's
That
very
used to
sad.
be a really good one for me. I haven't done that one in a long time, but that used to be a really good one for me. That is something that I have started telling my curlier clients who like their hair to look a little bit looser to actually try. I learned this from my sister actually because she's curlier than I am, but she used to just throw some mousse in her hair and then go to sleep with it wet and wake up with like lovely beachy waves. And I was like, what is this? Like this unicorn, like fully accusing her of being unicorn hair girl. But now that she started diffusing it in the morning and doing other things to it, I'm like, oh, it's because you're curlier than me. Like you can get
Ah,
away with this.
yes.
And so I have some clients that have tried this and they're like, sometimes there's some wonky bits that I have to fix, but like for the most part, it does come out a little bit looser and that's what they're looking for. And so it's just a good way to achieve that and also a time savings for those people that, really don't want to have to do all the things in the morning. So,
I
yay.
could see that working so well on somebody with a stronger curl pattern.
Yeah.
That is
Especially if
great.
their hair is a little bit on the medium to coarse or strong texture side. Fine hair tends to just become flat. But if they have hair that like it knows what it wants to do and it's really good about just doing it, like those stronger haired wavies or curlies tend to do, it works quite well.
That is so cool.
I'm going to pop up a few comments that people have made, which is one of them is, so glad we're back. I'm so glad to hear that you're so glad we're back. We're so glad to be back on this. This is so exciting, you guys.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of congrats for you in here and your journey. Oh, when do you finish cosmetology school? Are you sharing this yet?
Yes, absolutely. I am supposed to graduate December 3rd. And then, as you know, Alyson, I get to take that lovely written exam
Yes,
and
you
then
do.
do the practical exam. And then the state of Texas will kindly grant me my license and say I am allowed to take sharp objects to people's hair. So, not sure exactly when we're going to be up and running here in my hometown of Abilene, Texas, but I am shooting for sometime in January. I would like to do this as fast as I possibly can.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, amazing. Okay, January it is. I love it. We have a question from Betsy Combs. She is 1 month into transition. How many products should she start out using? And then where do I go? This is a great question because I
I
think
have
sometimes
very
it's not
strong
about the
opinions
quantity.
about this.
Very strong opinions. Okay. We both have some strong opinions. I'll share a few thoughts, and then you can share a few thoughts if you'd like. So a few thoughts that I have is it's not so much about how many products you should start out using, but I've been thinking for a while about creating a new sort of curly, wavy, curly 101 kind of video. Like, where do you start? And it really doesn't come down to how many should I be using, but evaluating your hair. So if you can look in the mirror and go, I haven't been deep conditioning. I have been blowing out and maybe flat ironing my hair. I know that it's very dehydrated and probably a bit damaged, but I don't want to cut anything off yet. If that's your analysis, then the idea from my purview is moisture baby, like as much as you can stand without it looking constantly wet or greasy. And even then there could be a phase where you go through some of that and you don't love the way it looks, but if you stick with it, your hair will start to like figure it out and absorb it and then really become deeply hydrated. What does that look like? A gentle shampoo, a gentle cleanser of some kind, preferably not. I don't like people starting off with a co-wash. I just don't, because I think there's such a learning curve there. If you've never used a co-wash to start, I don't think it's step one. But I love a gentle shampoo, a hydrating conditioner that's not too thick and goopy that you feel like you can't rinse it out and it doesn't leave your hair feeling greasy. You may have to experiment with a few things there. My favorite that I've used over the years is InnerSense. Over here, the white bottle's on my third shelf right there. I feel like I am someone who hates most shampoos and conditioners, and I feel like theirs have been consistently the best for my clients that are transitioning because they cleanse well enough and they condition well enough. I find so many cleansers, I hate most shampoos because they're over cleansing and they leave you really squeaky every single day, or they're not cleansing enough and then you feel dirty and then you put conditioner on top of that. So I feel like cleanser and conditioner is so foundational to what you do that choose wisely there and you will go a long way. I always recommend using a leave-in conditioner and then a couple of styling products because layers hold in more water and you want hydration. So I guess that leaves you with 5 things, which would be a cleanser, a conditioner, a leave-in, and maybe a cream or a foam, especially if you have lighter weight hair or you have, I should say, like less hair and you want to boost it. Some kind of gel that doesn't give you a cast that's rock hard that you can't scrunch out, but also something that's not just a cream, something that will hold in a little bit more. I love Bounce Curl gel for beginners. I love InnerSense I Create Volume for beginners. It says it's a styling lotion, but I use it as a gel a lot of the time. I love Colton King Jelly for beginners. So those are the kind of, and Jessie Curl Spiralicious, another good cream gel and very affordable. I reach for that one for beginners a lot. And then the last thing, which I suppose would be your 6th product, would be, not that the numbers matter, but it's all about the quality, a deep conditioning mask of some kind. Whatever you like, if you use it on your hair, And you don't necessarily have to use a clarifying shampoo, although I love a clarifying shampoo, which would bring us to product number 7 if you wanted to do that. You could just wash your hair twice with your standard cleanser shampoo. That can work a lot of the time. And then use your deep conditioner. If you find that your hair feels better, does better on that day, then that deep conditioner is working for you. You do not have to shampoo it out. But if you feel like your hair is greasy and you need to shampoo it out, that deep conditioner is too thick, too gloopy, maybe too much shea butter, too much mango seed butter. Look at the ingredients. We look at them so you don't have to, but I'd urge you just to glance, just a little glance there and see what it has in it. Because when you can start to make that connection between, I used this and my hair felt like that, and it has this in it, so maybe if I avoid that, I might find something else I like, it takes you a long way. So those are my takeaways. What do you have? Pile on top.
Alyson, we are the exact same. My very strong opinions very much line up with yours. I will add a little bit of a caveat because your hair really does not like shampoo for the most part. My hair, on the other hand, loves shampoo. My hair is insanely fine, low porosity, very silky and slippery feeling. I've heard the terms being thrown around lately. What is the finish of your hair? Do you have a rough finish on your hair or a silky finish on your hair? I have ridiculously silky feeling hair. So stuff just sits on top and builds up. All I have to do is sneeze wrong and my hair is greasy, built up, gross. So for me and most of the people that I know getting started embracing their waves and curls, a clarifying shampoo is extremely helpful. We're learning how much product amounts to put on our hair for stylers. There is going to be a day or two where you grab way too much curl cream, just experimenting, trying to see how much your hair likes and doesn't like. But if you grab way too much curl cream and way too much gel, 1 to 2 shampoos with a lovely, gentle, low poo shampoo may not be enough cleansing power for everyone. So having a clarifying shampoo in your cabinet that you can really pull all of that product buildup off of your hair with is incredibly helpful. I do have a rule that if you grab your clarifying shampoo, you had better had carved out 30 minutes of your life afterwards to let that deep conditioner sit on your hair, especially if you are just brand new into embracing your waves and curls. It's a non-negotiable. Do not touch that clarifying bottle if you do not have the time to deep condition, because hair that is in transition tends to have this really interesting, weird feeling to it. It feels almost hollow, like you need to fill it up with all of the moisture and nourishing and nurturing ingredients that are in these curly hair products. They have been specifically designed and formulated to give curly hair the right balance of moisture and structure. So please deep condition your hair after you clarify. Having a gentle low poo for your regular curly hair wash day sessions is amazing. A more lightweight rinse out conditioner, awesome sauce. Do a really good squish to condition with that. Very intentional. Use smaller amounts than you would think of leave-in conditioner. That was my biggest stumbling block when I first started. I was grabbing so much leave-in conditioner because the only people I was watching online style their curls was people with really tight curl patterns. As a general rule, the tighter your curl pattern, the more conditioning you're going to need in order to encourage those curls to clump together. When you've got a looser curl pattern, you don't need 2 full pumps of leave-in conditioner every single time, or at least I didn't.
Unless you have very thirsty, thick hair, because that
this
does
is
happen.
true. This is true. My hair was not that thick and thirsty. It was more on the silky side. It is prone to getting over conditioned and build up. So my favorite.
There's so much though, Courtney. You really hit the nail on the head. There's so much to knowing thy hair. Like you know your hair. You know that it's slippery and silky. And by the way, being in cosmetology school, have you learned so much about other people's hair textures and qualities just by getting your hands in there just nonstop? It's wild. Yeah, it's wild.
I do have a note on that is kind of mind-boggling. It's really weird, but I did want to say that your product recommendations too were absolutely spot on. I tend to recommend Jessie Curl Gentle Lather Shampoo, Aloba conditioner, and Jessie Curl Spiralicious as the 3 like starter products. You can use Aloba as a rinse out conditioner and a leave-in conditioner. It's formulated to be safe to be left on the hair. Adding 2 stylers is perfect. You really do need 2 stylers when you're in transition because they combine together and they compound on each other. That's what I was trying to say.
They complement each other. They do different things.
They do, but your hair kind of needs more help, more love while it's in transition. Don't try and find your perfect one and done styler when your hair's in transition. Wait till you're fully out of that transition phase, which takes anywhere from 6 months to 12 months, depending on the person, the amount of hair, the intentionality that you spend trying to get your hair figured out. So don't even try and find your one and done styler until a year into it. Just know that you're going to need a leave-in conditioner, some sort of curl enhancer that can be your foam, your mousse, maybe even a curl cream in some instances, and then a gel that really locks in the style.
Yeah, I think that a one and done styler, and I'm so glad you mentioned that because I haven't heard that term in a while, but it was, I don't know if it's still a really big term that gets thrown around a lot, but I remember hearing that a lot, a good 5 or 6 years ago. Everybody wanted their one and done. They wanted that unicorn styler. They wanted that, what do they call it? Their hero product. There was a name for it there for a while. I can't think of what it was, but it was a very big deal that everybody wanted to find their like hero product. And I have come to learn in 10 years of doing this that it's really not about the product. It's really about the quality of your hair. It's how moisturized, how hydrated, how healthy is your hair. And I know a lot of wavies, over the years, especially during COVID, when I was seeing clients, so many people were coming in. My wait list was 37,000 people long because everybody wanted to try out wavy as something new. And a lot of those people have been like, I don't really want to do it anymore. And then some of them have come back recently because they wanted to try it again. And it's funny, the stories that I hear, which looks like this. I came to see you because my hair was destroyed and then I wore it wavy for a while and I loved it, but then I just didn't feel like it looked professional. This all sounds familiar, right? It doesn't look professional. So I started blowing it out again and it was so healthy. It felt so good. And then I've been doing that for the last 3 years and now it's trash again. So it is cyclical.
Yes.
But for the wavies, it's such a, how do I put this? The lure of being able to blow out your hair, it's so easy when you're a wavy, but it's also that easy for it to become more damaged. So like by all means, like Courtney talks about, take a styling break, blow your hair out. Maybe just don't flat iron it, but like have fun with it. But just know that there are consequences to your actions. Donuts are delicious, but if I eat too many, my pants aren't going to fit. So like if I just know what the consequences are and I let myself have fun sometimes, then I reel it back in and I go, okay, now how can I best support my situation? So,
I feel like leads in perfectly to what Karen said. She said, I got my hair done a month ago and the hairdresser used a flat iron without heat protection. I know you were screaming internally when that was happening, but one instance of flat ironing your hair one time without heat protection, I understand how cringe it is. I understand the cost to your hair health, but you've only happened once. You debit that out of your hair health bank account, and that's it. You're going to go back to treating your hair kind and loving on it and treating it well and right. That bank balance of hair health will come right back up.
You just say a few hair Marys. We'll call them hair Marys. I shouldn't make fun, but we'll say a few hair Marys. And then you just let it go and then you move on and you deep condition and you forgive yourself and live your life. But also I would ask yourself this, did you see that particular stylist because she was a curly stylist? Did she cut dry? Was that the intention all along? So like always really good when you go see a stylist, whether it's one you've seen for years and you want something different or somebody that's new to you, is to like talk it out before you get started. Like always have that plan. So ask them like, what is the styling process going to look like? I really want to wear it curly, wavy. It's okay to ask those questions. Like, don't be afraid.
Absolutely. Melissa asks, I got a haircut on Friday and now my curls are a frizzy mess. What can I do?
What can I do? Well, I have so many questions. Obviously, I want to know more about the whole situation. Like This was Friday, and
Did some
today is
texturizing shears come into the mix?
yeah. Did texturizing shears come into the mix? Did she give you lots of layers? Did it look great when she styled it? And I assume that she styled it curly, but today is Wednesday. So have you done your whole your own wash day? Was this your first wash day doing it curly by yourself? Like, I have lots of questions, but if your curls are a frizzy mess, what can you do? In my mind, that to me sounds like a do-over situation, and a do-over situation is not such a bad thing. You learn a lot from a do-over situation in terms of a restyle. So you're going to wash your hair again. You're going to condition it again. You're going to take some special care to pay attention to each one of those steps. Did you detangle when you were conditioning? Did you use a leave-in conditioner? Do you notice when your hair is wet and you sort of look at it in the shower, do you have a lot of loop-de-loops? Like a lot of, if you get loop-de-loops, you know what they are. Courtney, do you get loop-de-loops?
I do, like wet frizz.
Wet, kind of like wet frizz. You have individual
They're
hairs that make
looping
a
around.
little
Yep.
loop all the way around. A lot of people with finer hair types tend to get that. Take a fine-tooth comb for real, and comb those out when your hair is full of conditioner and get that hair all aligned. If it's all going the same direction, your wet frizz is eliminated, and you have a much better chance of then when you apply your styling product, it not poofing out and sticking out and being that frizzy mess that you're afraid of. Then when you go to style, you need to say, am I using enough product? Because as always, I talk about this all the time, but I think the number one thing that I see my clients, my friends doing wrong when they wear their hair wavy curly is not using enough styling product. They think that if they just squeeze like a little, like, let's say like a dime-sized dollop in their hand and emulsify that, and then they kind of squeeze it over and scrunch it in, that it's good and they're done. But truly, it's not enough. You have to really be able to coat those strands, lock each one of those hairs in its little own gel prison with its neighbors, and then you can scrunch it from there and air dry, diffuse it. The one thing I'll tell
there's
you
no
to not
cash
do.
prize for using less product. Nobody shows up to your door with a giant check saying, congratulations, you got away with a pea-sized amount of gel. Use the amount of gel that you need. And I'm saying that as somebody who was trapped in that mindset for the longest time.
It's not a treasure. The products are not a treasure that you need to hold on to. You can find really good quality hair products for wavy and curly hair that will not break the bank. Like most of the products that I carry in my studio, I feel like are actually a really nice price point. Like Jessie Curl, fantastic price point. I want to say $16 for that gel. InnerSense, $30 for a gel? Absolutely not Walmart prices, mind you, but certainly not when I've been in a high-end salon before and I see hair products that are in the 60, 80, 100 range for a bottle. This is not that. We have Hair Story, we have Colton King, we have Bounce Curl, we have InnerSense, we have a little bit of Kevin Murphy, we've got some Jessie Curl. All of these things are in the price range of, I would say, $15 to $45. That to me seems like quality.
Yes.
But that doesn't break the bank. Don't be afraid, because even if you buy good hair products and then you don't use enough of it, you're still not going to get the results that you want. And so you're just wasting the product. Use enough.
Yep, absolutely.
And don't ever scrunch your hair with a terry cloth towel. Okay, that was it. Don't use terry cloth.
Melissa, if it were me and I got a haircut on Friday and all of a sudden my curls are a frizzy mess and I don't know what to do, I'm going to first take a gigantic deep breath. Even a terrible haircut is going to help improve the health of your hair to some extent. So, deep breath.
That's a good perspective.
Second, I'm going to remember that curl shock is a very real thing after a haircut. I have experienced curl shock on multiple occasions. It is where your curls kind of just wig out a little bit after a haircut. Typically, it's because the haircut wasn't as optimal for my hair. When the haircut is perfection for my hair, I don't have curl shock. Example, when Alyson cuts my hair, no curl shock. My hair is just fine. But curl shock is pretty normal. It can be hard to absolutely hit the bullseye with the haircut. So we're going to just breathe. It'll get better. And it is so normal for the curls to look better and better and better and better and better up until the point of the haircut. Your best ever wash days will be the day of your haircut appointment. It just
Murphy's Law
is that way.
You can do. Nothing
So
you can do.
if this is me with the curl shock and the frizzy mess after a haircut, what I would do is I would clarify my hair with my lovely clarifying shampoo. I would
Courtney,
deep
what's your
condition.
lovely clarifying shampoo? Share your faves.
I have multiples. Bumble
Top
and
two.
Bumble Sunday shampoo. Epic. Really, really nice. And We Dad Waterworks shampoo. Fantabulous if you have hard water, which I do. How do you know if you have hard water? Google it. You go and you type in the name of your city and say, what is the water hardness of my city? And it will tell you if you have hard water or soft water. We have very hard water where I live. Out in West Texas, it's very dry. So I will clarify my hair with either the Bumble and Bumble Sunday shampoo, We Dad Waterworks, or if I'm feeling cheap, because sometimes we just feel cheap because egg prices are $10 a dozen, I will use the Pantene Volume Shampoo. Really solid, very minimal ingredient clarifying shampoo. It's basically just water and sulfate. We love that. Get my hair really nice and clean, and then use a deep conditioner. Very, very carefully and intentionally apply that deep conditioner. Make sure every single strand is getting a thorough coating of that deep conditioner. Usually what that looks like for me is finger combing that deep conditioner through my hair, making sure there are no tangles or snarls. Once my hair is thoroughly detangled with my fingers, I will take a wet brush and brush that through my hair for even better product distribution. A wet brush is a brush that has really bendy bristles. Once that deep conditioner is thoroughly, thoroughly, thoroughly slimed in my hair, I will take a good solid 5 minutes to squish and pulse that product into my hair. I have mixed feelings on squish to condish, but what I do know is that after a haircut, if the curls are in curl shock, taking that time to pulse and squish and pulse that deep conditioner into your hair can help the hydrogen bonds realign better in looser curl patterns. Then I'm going to put on a plastic shower cap. And once that plastic shower cap is on top of the ooey gooey deep conditioner, I'll wrap my hair up in a terry cloth towel and then go sit on my couch and watch my favorite episode of whatever TV show I happen to be in at that moment. After about 30 minutes, then I will rinse out that deep conditioner, and usually I will just let my hair air dry product free because I need a styling break after all of that love and intention I have poured into my hair.
Sounds like therapy.
It is. It is therapy.
It's most definitely therapy. I love it. It sounds like it's working for you though. So, hey, it's done it. It's done the thing. It's done the thing it needed to do. And now you need a break. And you can take some you time. So you get to go do that. You know, we forget
Absolutely.
to do that. Yeah. Oh, Jennifer has a question. Okay. How accurate is the width of your ponytail equals amount of product you need to use? Well, it's a starting place. Courtney gives it a big, big thumbs down. But I will say, I think it's a starting place because, like, if your ponytail, I have not heard this before, actually. So I'm thinking about it. I'm like, okay, this is not a bad plan. I would actually say that the width of your ponytail, the how big your ponytail is, might equal half the amount of product you need to use, depending on how dry or thirsty your hair might be, and also how much definition you actually like in your hair. So if you don't like a lot of definition, I am not someone who likes a lot of definition personally. I did early in my journey, and I would really chase that, and now I don't as much. So I intentionally use a bit less product, and I shake it out quite a bit because I really want to see a little bit more frizziness. I want to see more volume, and I don't have a ton of hair. So that is how I compensate. So that's how I do that. But I don't know that that's the best measure. That doesn't tell you where to end, but it can tell you where to start if you really have no clue. So I'm not opposed to it. Now, Courtney, you gave it a big thumbs down. Where's your thumbs down on that? Have you heard this before? Because this one's new to me.
I have absolutely heard this before. I think about 5 years ago, this technique went a little bit viral on Instagram, and it's where people were taking their hand, forming a little C shape, putting it on their hair, checking the diameter, density of their hair, and then pulling their hair out and saying, oh, look, this is how much product I need. Except everybody was just touching their index finger to their thumb and saying,
you got to scrunch it down. Even if you don't want to, you got to scrunch it down.
But for me, I have relatively high density hair. And that comes out to probably a diameter of 1 inch for my hair. I
Uh-huh.
need quadruple that amount, maybe
Yeah.
more. If the
Mine is here
product
if I
is
really
really
scrunch
runny
it.
and viscous, then I'm going to need way more. If it's the inner sense I create volume, 4 little quarter sizes of that is not going to be enough for my hair. I need a lot.
Well, I can also
Um,
see every influencer on the internet just going, oh, I have this much hair. Oh my God, you guys, it's like, it's huge. I mean, it's no, like, be honest, okay? Because you know, every influencer wants to lie about how much hair she has. I have 6 strands of hair. And so I don't need that much styling product, but I do need an amount. You saw my little amount. If you're watching this on here with us, I had probably about a dime. So I don't have that much hair, Courtney. Like
wow.
it
It's so
really,
full.
thank you. It condenses down quite a bit. So I had maybe about, let's see, I was about right here. So I'd say that's about a dime's worth. I probably use maybe 2 of those, maybe
Okay.
3, because I want more volume, because my product is not super viscous and runny. I would use more. Like if I was using InnerSense I Create Volume, I would definitely use more. But because I'm using something that has like, I'll either use the Bounce Curl gel or a new gel I can't talk about yet, but I can this month, so it's coming. And big news, but it's like more somewhere in between. I Create Volume and the like LA Looks Blue gel, right? Like not that heavy goopiness
Mhm.
and not that runniness. So somewhere, I think it's not a bad thing. I think it's a starting place, but I think you're at least going to need double what you learn from that, as long as you're being truthful with how much you scrunch down your hair.
I
Speed it,
greatly
speed it.
appreciate people trying to give tools to people to help them figure out their hair. I see the margin of error being way too wide for this. Like
Yeah.
you can't get it dialed in and accurate enough. I think a far better way to help people figure out how much product their hair needs or wants is to suggest going to the Dollar Tree and buying a set of teaspoon measurers, plastic teaspoon measurers that live in your bathroom. For a while, use the training wheels of measuring out your gel every single time. But this does require you to like pay attention. Did I use 1 teaspoon or 2 teaspoons, or did I grab the tablespoon? But if you pay attention, figure that out, and then get a really good feel for what that amount of product looks like in your hand, that is way better than this. Let's measure how much hair we have and, use this tiny little circle to measure out the amount of product that we're using. This looks really bad.
I do think no matter what you do, when you're new to this, you should be recording everything. Like write
It
it
helps.
down. Like you got 75 different kinds of notes app in your phone. Like just go ahead and use Google Docs, like use a thing and write down, this was approximately how much I used. Or if you're using the teaspoon measuring method, this was specifically how much I used. Did I like my hair that day? Did I like my hair the next day? That tells you a lot. Absolutely. But I think if you have no idea, like what is high density, what is low density, I'm just gonna have to say I don't think it's a bad place to start, but I think you're gonna need at least double that.
Absolutely check the density of your hair. If you've got
Yeah.
friends in your life that will allow you to come grab their hair and see how much hair they have on their head, great. If you have friendships like that, compare, contrast your hair with you and your friends. I didn't realize that I had fine hair until I compared it to my sister's. And I went, whoa, each of her hair strands is ginormous in comparison to mine.
That's
So
so funny. Yeah.
neat. Oh, I am not going to say this name correctly, but we have a question. What one and done stylers do you guys like for healthy hair? I've been doing this since 2021. All right, she's out of the transition phase. Alyson, what is your personal favorite one and done styler?
The number one I'm going to reach for is Jessie Curl Spiralicious. It's the cream, it's the gel all in one, it's no protein, it's polyquaternium 6.9, which is my favorite curl enhancing, humidity fighting, or lack of humidity fighting product. I just feel like it's, and by the way, when we look at raw ingredients, polyquaternium 6.9 is one of the most expensive raw ingredients that I have ever personally priced for the fun of pricing raw ingredients, which is what you do when you are obsessed with
When
curly
you
hair
read the
and
back of the
products.
bottle so other people don't have to, that's something that you do?
Yes. We priced the raw ingredient so other people don't have to. So you don't see that. I mentioned that because you don't see that particular ingredient in a lot of other products. It used to be in a number of other products, but I
And
think a
yet
lot of
Jessie
people have
Curl is
abandoned it.
still offering Spiralicious in an incredibly affordable price range, and they're using
Yes.
insanely expensive raw ingredients that have been so intentionally formulated.
Yes, I love Jessie Curl. I think they're one of the best brands on the market. And we are, by the way, are not sponsored. We do not have advertisements that we're running right now. We would love to at some point in time. So Jessie Curl, if you would like to pay us to talk about you, we'll talk about you anyway. But here we are, like saying this is a great brand that is super intentional with how they formulate, what goes into their products, and how they choose to continue to price. Like that's a great starter gel. It's a great one and done gel. I still use that one very often. That one's still a staple in my own personal bathroom cabinet. A second choice would be probably InnerSense Eye Create Volume. It's moisturizing. It adds a lot of shine, which is a complaint that I get from a lot of clients, because when they start wearing their hair curly or wavy, they're like, I can't see the shine anymore. Like my hair's not shiny, because when they were wearing it straight, that it would, it would reflect the light a different kind of way. So it adds a lot of shine, but not a lot of curl enhancement, not a whole lot of humidity fighting capabilities, but I think it's a good price. I think it's about $30, $28 for a bottle maybe. And I think it's a 10-ounce bottle. So it's a pretty generous size as well. So that would be my second choice. What about you?
Well, I'll just go ahead and do my product spotlight, which is newer. This is the Curlsmith Awestruck Definition Cream. Curlsmith is constantly trying to bring out more products to improve people's curls. Like they really do care about the world's curls. So that's why you see like a new product from them constantly. This is one of their newest ones. I was not expecting much out of this, but this is a gel in oil suspension. This is like the coolest blend of a curl cream and a gel combined. Really, really interesting one and done styler. Looking at her profile picture, I think that this would be really good in her.
Will you hold that up to the camera so I can see it closely? Let me see that label up close. Awestruck Definition Cream from Curlsmith. Okay. So this is a one and done styler. Does it have hold?
It does. It's supposed to give a cast. Why? I thought apparently, no, I don't know why it wasn't open. It was.
It's a new,
No. Come on.
It's thick. She's thick.
Well, I dropped this and the lid broke.
That's a you problem.
So let's just do it this way. Can we see? There we go.
Oh, okay. Oh.
You think
it's got some stickage
right?
to it.
Except it has a gel-like texture.
You know what? I will say that it looks on your hand a lot like Hair Story hair balm, but it looks like it may have a little more gelishness to it. Like it's squishy. It's got the same sort of density to it, but it's got more squish.
It's a very, very cool product. I unfortunately don't have long-time loves like Alyson. I have shiny object syndrome, so I'm constantly trying out new things. Other products that I have tried recently that really blew me away was the Umberto Giannini gel. What? This is very good. If you are in the UK and you need an option for a one and done styler, that gel was incredible. And I have also loved the Briogeo gel for about 3 years at this point. So if you want Courtney to be a little bit consistent, that is the one that I'm going to be like, I really, really liked that. I personally have gotten to the point where I don't need a leave-in conditioner underneath my gels. My hair just tends to be so over-conditioned that I tend to need
your hair
really
is so healthy and so slippery. Like you basically have leave-in conditioner built into your hair. And I know this because I've touched your hair and it tends to be like, oh, don't put leave-in conditioner in Courtney's hair because it already has its own leave-in conditioner. Like it's conditioned no matter what you do.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to, y'all are asking so many questions. This is so awesome. We will go back to the mom conversation here in a minute, but I want to answer a few more of your questions because they're so great. And I'm so glad. I feel like y'all have saved these up for us since we ended our podcast back in the spring. So this is so exciting. So Pat is sharing that she's been using the As I Am co-wash since we mentioned it last time on the podcast. And I'm wondering if this is the standard As I Am co-wash or if it is the itchy scalp co-wash, because I know there are two. Aren't there two? I think you've used the other one, Courtney. And she says she gets itchy as soon as she tries to use a regular shampoo. What would we suggest for her very dry scalp? I think my question is, do you need to use a shampoo? Like, is your hair getting built up on it? If it's not getting built up, you don't have any reason to use anything else. But you also
mean, if co-wash works that well for her, I think going to new wash might be worth it. I know that there's a bit of sticker shock, but that product, even I can use it and it works incredible on my
I didn't know you'd played with it yet. Do you love it? I'm obsessed.
I like the new wash deep. I can't get away with the new wash regular because I'm an oily, greasy queen. But the deep still works for me.
Oh, that's so good. It is. So deep is their formulation that contains apple cider vinegar. So it's supposed to be a slightly deeper, more build up busting formulation. It's never been my personal favorite, but I love knowing that it is yours. I find that original works for like 99% of my clients. So it's the only one I generally talk about because I think it starts to get kind of confusing. But for those with a very dry scalp, she might really like the rich formulation, which is formulated with avocado oil. So there are a couple of things to potentially play with there. And yes, as far as products on my particular wall go, it is one of the pricier products, but it means you're not using a separate conditioner. It means you might not use a leave-in conditioner. I still like that on most of my clients, but it also means after a while of using it, you really don't need, dare I say it, to use a deep conditioner very often at all. It is something I very rarely reach for. My hair has grown quite long. I'm very lazy about cutting it now. So when I feel like those ends are a little crunchy, I feel like maybe I need to use a deep conditioner, but truly I probably just need a haircut. Let's be honest. So a deep conditioner is something that you maybe don't need as much anymore. But I would say, you don't necessarily need to use a regular shampoo unless you have buildup. But my hack would be to try, if you have a buildup situation, use a shampoo, and then once you rinse that out, co-wash. Go ahead and then use immediately your As I Am co-wash and put those ingredients that your scalp really likes right back on there. You've clarified your hair, then you put the good things back on your scalp. Why wouldn't you do that? You feel like it's a double cleanse, and maybe it kind of is, but you're feeding your scalp again. And I'll say one other thing that I really like, I'll show you. If you feel like your scalp has some buildup on it because you're using co-wash all the time, I love the InnerSense True Enlightenment Scalp Scrub. This is one of my favorites. This was not going to be my product spotlight. Huh?
I haven't played with that one yet.
It is glorious. It smells like candy canes. This is my absolutely giant stylist size, but you can see just how fine those particles of salt are. It actually dissolves really, really well. I have used so many of their scalp scrubs that left residue and little flakes in my client's hair. Oh, the horror of sending someone off with little plastic beads in their hair. Never again. You make that mistake one time and then that product goes in the trash. So this one I really like because it also contains, I'm telling you, I don't even care how much you pay for it. It's trash now. So this one dissolves really well in the hair so it doesn't leave any kind of residue, but it also contains mild surfactants, sodium cocoyl acethanate, which I'm probably going to say wrong, and cocamidopropyl hydroxysultane are mild surfactants. So you get a shampoo feel on your scalp, and then you just scrub it out. And then you can go right back to co-washing if you're trying to give your scalp a deeper clean, but you don't necessarily feel like you have buildup on your hair. So it's a question of, do I have scalp buildup or do I have hair buildup? And then you can kind of evaluate from there. My take.
I did have a sneaky little thought that, okay, she really has been using and loving the As I Am co-wash. Where do we purchase that? Typically at Walmart, or at least that's where I would go. Like I can go in there and grab it. What if, Pat, you let us know in the comments, but are you per se grabbing curly hair friendly Walmart shampoos and trying those out to shampoo and condition your hair? If so, there is a chance that you are grabbing a product that contains one of the itchy M's. I am personally very allergic to these itchy M's. They are preservatives. We love preservatives. Preservatives keep mold and fungus from growing in our product. We like that. But sometimes the type of preservative that they're using does make your scalp rather itchy. So there's a chance that it's not the shampoo, regular shampoo, that your hair hates. It's just that one particular type of preservative that they're called the itchy M's because a lot of people are itchied by them.
And the way you identify them is they start with an M and they're 75 letters long. So no, we don't know what they are. They're methyl is a there's a lot of Z's, but I think they usually start with methyl, methyl, and they're usually together. Not always, but sometimes.
I am going to throw it up on the screen for people who are watching live. These are the itchy M's. I will not be pronouncing these. So if you are listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, you're going to have to come to either one of our YouTube channels to see these insanely long names.
No, you know what? I'm going to give the people a bit of comedy. Here we go. Methyl chloroisothiazolinone. Or lisothiazolinone. There we go.
You nailed it. Perfection.
Thank you. Methyl with Z's. I mean, was I right or what?
It was very good. Also, if you cannot remember those, just feel free to Google itchy M. It comes up very quickly. So there you go.
Love it. Okay, should we answer like maybe 2 more questions? We have so many good ones. It's so hard to pick.
We really do. I love this question from Mags. My wavy hair puzzles me because the mid-length apply all the products from root to tip. She's wondering, where does she apply these products if her hair is wavy? I'm assuming that her curl pattern, oh, there we go. I wanted to ask why the lengths are silky and smooth, but from my ears up, it's more coarse despite shampooing and conditioning from root to tip. Thanks.
She sent a little clarification to her question. So why are her lengths silky and smooth, but from her ears, I would guess like the top of her scalp to her ears, it feels more coarse. I don't know that it's necessarily a texture change. I would have to see this to fully understand it for sure. But I feel like there may be a chance that maybe, Mags, my friend, you are doing a good job of putting your conditioner ears down and maybe not getting enough up top. And so you're staying actually a little bit dehydrated. So the hair on your head that is closer to your actual roots is a little bit more dehydrated and dry because it's not getting the benefit of conditioner, leave-in conditioner, styling product. Maybe you've been oily in the past and you've been afraid to use conditioner anywhere close to your scalp. That would be my best guess, not knowing the full situation.
Absolutely. More info is more better. She is saying that she is conditioning from root to tip. So let's give her the benefit of the doubt and say that she is conditioning all the way to her root, brushing it through with a really nice wet brush. Extreme conditioner distribution. All right. We've given her that benefit of the doubt. Okay. I ran into this with one of the very first clients that I had in cosmetology school. The ends of her hair texture were completely different than the lengths of her hair. And what was on the very ends of her hair, you may ask? Box dye. Black box dye completely changed the texture of her hair. It felt silky and almost kind of like plasticky. It was very, very odd. Do you have any residual keratin treatments in your hair? That could be another reason that you have wildly different textures. Also, congratulations. If you are female, we do go through 7-year hormonal cycle changes. It's possible that it has just been your turn. Those years have ticked over. Thank you, Lord. We are still on this planet, but we're getting older. So perhaps last thing that could be causing this is a hormonal shift, which we all go through all the time.
So many things. There could be so many things there. So many things to look into. Also, has she started like biotin Has she started taking any kind of vitamin? Nutrafol can create a whole new influx of new hair that can then also be a new texture. There are so many things that can be at play there. It's a complicated one. So lots of questions to ask yourself for sure, my friend.
Oh, sorry. I think we were both trying to throw up a question at the same time. You
That's
go first.
okay.
My apologies.
That's okay. I threw up an easy one. What deep conditioner do you use? I mean, do we have favorites or what? I'll name a few of my favorites. Intersense has just come out with one that is brand new. I don't even have it in here yet. It's their Repair Deep Conditioner. I've just played with it a couple of times. They sent it to me to play around with, and I kind of really like it. And I hadn't been a huge fan of their deep conditioners in the past, but that one I really like. I also really like the Bounce Curl Ayurvedic Deep Conditioner. Super beautiful pricing. Fragrance is lovely, and it makes everyone's hair feel amazing. So that's another favorite.
Don't say your last favorite, because I'm pretty sure it's my favorite.
Oh, really? Okay, I don't know. You say yours, and I'll tell you if we were there. Then we'll see if we're twinsies.
Jessie Curl Deep Conditioning Treatment.
Yes.
It is truly one of the best ever.
Yeah.
That is one that I've been using for 7 years at this point.
It is such a good standby. It's all moisture, no protein. The only thing about it is it needs time to work. When Courtney talks about leaving it on for 30 minutes, if you put that one on your hair for 5 minutes, it is just not going to do. It needs time, but if you give it that time and you give yourself that time, because none of us do that anymore. Speaking of being busy moms, please take that time for yourself. Like, just do it. Just leave the dishes in the sink. Just don't do your hair that day. Do a cute up to kind of situation, but really, definitely give that particular deep conditioner 30 minutes.
And there's one last one that I love, and it's for the people like me, fine hair, buildup prone, very silky. Briogeo Don't Despair Repair. Very nice. Light moisture, decent protein. Really helps boost my curls back. So those are mine.
Love it. All right, let's throw up this last question.
Oh.
Do it. You had thrown up one a second ago.
When I style my hair, most of it styles really good, but the underneath and back does not seem to hold and goes frizzy. Why is this happening? Angela, my dear, are you putting styling product there? And I mean literally gooping it in your hand and slapping it straight on that spot. Because if you're not, if you're glazing and scrunching, you're not getting any product there.
That's a really good one. And I will say always use more there, because the other reason could be, and I see this a lot, is that the back of people's heads very often has a completely different texture than the sides. Courtney, have you started seeing this yet on your clients at school?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
9 times out of 10, people are going to have tighter curls right at the nape of their neck. Back of
Oh,
their
yes. 9 times out of 10. But also there's something that happens when the shape of your skull changes. And when you're at the back of your head, for whatever reason, I do think that it's sort of like a caveman leftover thing. You've got these like really like dense textures. There's more hair back there. So if you fall down and smack the back of your head on that rock, then it's not going to kill you. Like you're going to be able to keep on. What?
You've got more cushion. You've got built-in airbag.
You got to have more cushion in the back, y'all. So that's what that's there for. But it's a real pain in the butt when you're trying to style it and make it look really good, right? So to Courtney's point, use more styling product at the back of your head if you have this problem. Use more than you think you need to. And be sure to bust out your Bounce Curl definition brush for that section. If it is really dense and it's really coarse and it just frizzes up, the brush is the way to go. Most definitely.
It's a cheat code for curls. Would you like a cheat code for your waves and curls? The Bounce Curl Define Brush. There you go. You're welcome.
She'll do it every time. And it doesn't even matter what color you get. And it doesn't even matter if you get, honestly, the definition one or the volume one. I think they work pretty much the same. So get your favorite color and just call it done. It will be your favorite styling tool. Okay, before we go though, Courtney, I didn't share my faves, and I wanted to share my faves, my product spotlights.
Share your product
Sorry,
spotlight.
I'm taking this a little bit longer. I had a few because I couldn't decide, but you talked about one several times, and that was the mom claw clip. You talked about a claw clip all the time. And so like this one is from Target. I love this particular one that I'm holding up if you're watching on YouTube. It's gold. It comes in silver too. And it's kind of a squiggly thing. And it's like metal. So don't really wear it when you're driving if you don't want it, to die or something. But I really feel like, listen, I've got a couple clients that are doctors, and we've had whole conversations about how you should not wear a claw clip while you're driving. Okay.
Makes sense.
It makes sense. A little quick twist up and pull some little pieces down on the side. Like, look,
Oh,
I'm on
stop
day
it. You're
1
an elegant
million.
queen now. Look at
But
you.
see, this is not a great thing, but I promise you, like if you're watching, you see me. If you don't, I just put up my clip and pull down some pieces in the front. It doesn't look great. It's not beautiful. But because you've got these curls, these waves that other people don't have, they will tell you all day, oh my gosh, did you curl those pieces? They look so pretty. And suddenly you have just won like the mom fast, dirty hairstyle. Okay.
Yes, you have.
So you talked about claw clips a lot, and they are magical for that reason. My other favorite is just an easy little clip like this. This one that I'm holding in my hand is from Target. It's just a little tortoiseshell clip with the base underneath. And I find, when I'm doing my hair at night, I clip my hair back and I go, gosh, that kind of just looks nice. If you clip something back at the base of your neck and then just have it like over one shoulder that day, suddenly you have a whole different vibe. And you have saved the day with your curls that were a little bit crunchy and a little bit frizzy and falling apart. And you didn't have time to do anything. You created something. You created something different. You pulled back maybe some curls at the front of your head that still looked okay. And then you put on some nice earrings, because distraction is the name of the game when you're just trying to make it through as a busy mom. So those were my favorites. Also dry shampoo is always a great thing. So from one parent to another, y'all, this time of year is hard because you're still trying to ease into that back to school schedule. If you're like me, you have 2 drop-offs now and life is a little bit bonkers because you've lost 30 minutes of your life. So like you're just trying to make it through. So it's okay to split up your shower time. It's okay to lean on some accessories. It's okay to wash at night and style the next morning. Little recap there for you, but we really are so glad that you guys are here and that you've joined us for this, because we're all trying to make it through and we love all of your questions. So thank you so much for participating with us. And we're excited to share this as a podcast for you to all listen to as well.
Absolutely. We are so honored to get to spend part of the day with you. We are looking forward to the next 9 episodes. We will be back every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central Time. So if you want to hang out with us again, that would be awesome. Please make sure to like and subscribe on whatever platform you are listening to. If you are listening and not watching, 5-star reviews help a ton. So thank you for those of you who have given us 5-star reviews. We do see you. We deeply appreciate you. And each and every single one of you that hangs out with us over on YouTube, y'all are awesome. We will see y'all next week.
We'll see you soon, guys. Have a great rest of your week.
Bye.
Bye.